Hey there, Grumpy Old Fart here. I'm doing an alien witness video. This is a little different. Usually I do like alien activity or alien or UFO legends or something like that. This guy I don't know think could be classified as a legend per se, but he did give a nice deathbed confession of witnessing an alien event, or at least an actual alien. So yeah, before I get into this though, if you enjoy my content, it would really help me out if you could hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, share my content on all of your social media platforms, and post a comment or two. Remember, I welcome your comments, even if you disagree with me. Friends can still disagree. And check me out over on Rumble for my political commentary and weekly current events. If you enjoy a good book, check out my author page over on Amazon.com. My pen name is H.L. Anderson. You can find all of my books there, including the ones pictured here. They are the first two of three, soon to be four, the Devo Poland Chronicles. It's Vanguard 1 and Task Force Terminus. It's, excuse me, a study of humanity from an alien perspective. It's got a nice backstory, good character development, at least I think so, and the story is really outstanding. If you enjoy the quirky weird, my author page is right up your alley, let me tell you. All right, let's get on with this. Black Mac Magruder. Marion Black Mac Magruder was an ace Marine fighter pilot from World War II. On his deathbed in 1997, he told his sons and granddaughter that he was taken to Wright Field and shown a live alien that survived the 1947 crash at Roswell. Yeah, this is, I mean, a deathbed confession is admissible in court. It doesn't get much more serious than that. Marion Black Mac Magruder was a Marine pilot who pioneered the American night fighting program for the U.S. Navy. He had trained with the Royal Air Force and had learned their techniques for flying and fighting at night. He brought these techniques to the U.S. Navy and helped them to establish their night piloting program. Magruder was a well-respected officer. This guy was the real deal. Excuse me. After World War II, Magruder was sent to the Air War College in Maxwell Field, Alabama. In July of 1948, his class took a flight to Wright Field in Dayton, Ohio. The military wanted his and his class's feedback on whether or not to disclose to the public the fact that they had retrieved a UFO from the desert outside Roswell, New Mexico. Not only that, but debris had been brought to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base along with a living extraterrestrial. The class was led into a room where debris was shown to them. The crash had happened earlier in that same month. They then brought out the only living survivor of that crash. Magruder described the being in specific detail to his sons and granddaughter, but kept repeating that it seemed squiggly to him. He kept repeating that word over and over, squiggly. The being had a large head, but otherwise did not resemble the E.T. Greys depicted on television. According to him, instead of a gray color, it was flesh-toned. It resembled a human being. It had a slit for a mouth and hardly any nose at all. But it had very large eyes. They told him that the other occupants of the craft were sent to Florida to Eglin Air Force Base, where the bodies were put in cryogenic storage. The last one, apparently, died later. The entire class was speechless. Excuse me. In 1952, Magruder was taken from his home by a military escort in a staff car to the Pentagon. It was July 26th, a week after the first night the saucers came. Magruder and a group of officers watched the blips of the saucers on radar screens as they moved across the sky over Washington, D.C. with impunity. Check out my video on the D.C. saucers. This, mind you, was a deathbed confession, which is admissible in court. But there is corroboration to this story beyond that. Jackie Gleason told a story about President Nixon taking him on a clandestine trip to a Florida military base where he was shown alien bodies in deep freeze. Furthermore, at least 2 members of his class from the Air War College told similar stories to their family members as well about being taken to Ohio. Seeing the debris and seeing the extraterrestrial was paramount in those stories. The amount of, corroboration, witnesses, testimony, documentation, it boggles the mind how anyone could say that there are no such things as extraterrestrials. I don't see how it would destroy our world to admit that to the public. I mean, the Air Force and the Pentagon have both, or the Navy rather, and the Pentagon have both admitted that UFOs are real. The fact that there are still people who don't believe that aliens exist is, I don't know, that just boggles my mind. If these UFOs are not from Earth, they've got to be coming from somewhere. If it's not extraterrestrial, it's got to be extra-dimensional. Either way, they're alien to us. The people who built those have got to be out there somewhere. And it is quite possible that they're flying some of those UFOs or UAPs. This particular individual, Black Mac Magruder, was one of the most well-respected people in the U.S. Marines. He was one of the best pilots this country produced. If you can't take his word, especially on a deathbed confession, I don't know what else there is to say. I don't. It's just beyond me. If anybody else has any more information, different information, maybe I got something wrong, stick that in the comments. I hope this finds everybody well. You folks have a good one. God bless one and all.